Alright, hello everybody, this is Nick from the ArcadeHunters.com, bringing you episode 31 of the Arcade Hunters podcast. And with me is my good friend from up in New Hampshire, Mr. Gerard. Say hello.
Hello.
And we got another pretty much just random topics going on about the new Konami shooter from the guys over at Hardcore Gaming.
The unofficial guide to Konami Shooters book.
Yes, the unofficial. It's not official.
Yeah.
But we also talk about the stuff going on with the absence of the Funspot tournament for 2015. And, of course, you know, we couldn't get through without talking a little bit about wrestling with the last Royal Rumble and a whole lot more. So take a seat and join us on the ride. And here it is, episode 31 of the Arcade Hunters podcast. Here we go.
Please enjoy.
That's not going to be annoying.
What's playing in the background?
02.
Sounds like you're really mashing on them buttons.
Yep. Down DP to wake up. That's some guys. DP on wake up is one of our new our followers on Instagram. Like, I know what that means.
So I started recording. You sound good, so we can just start rolling with it the way it is.
All right. I'm gonna turn off the game. I don't want to hear. I just have it on my lap, so.
It sounds great. Episode 31, right?
Yeah, 31.
Yep. So.
WrestleMania 31.
Holy shit. Oh, we'll have higher than 31 by WrestleMania. So, to everyone listening, this is a little bit late. Probably probably a little less than a week late. But basically, due to the blizzard, we've had some technical issues up at the New Hampshire headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
And there's I think the New York headquarters got quite a bit of snow too.
Yeah, we had about 24. Awesome.
So,
like, everybody else is making fun of us and it's like, we got nothing. And it's like, you should have seen what we got.
We did not get anywhere near 24, but
yeah, it
was still more than enough to mess things up.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, we're back. So this is our delayed episode, and I don't know, probably just do a general BS episode.
Yeah, because I'm not in where I usually record the podcast. I'm actually kind of I'm pulling a Snyder.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the iPhone with the app running, so hopefully it doesn't shut down on me like the last two times it was doing it.
It seems to be running well. I think you might have been accidentally hitting a button or something, or
no, I had it up on top of the table when I was cleaning up my sty of a room up here.
Well, I think one of the first things we should discuss are some news and rumors that have been going around, especially with the Funspot tournament.
Oh, yeah.
So it turns out the Funspot International Classic Video Game Tournament is not going to be happening this year. And the rumors going around as to why are ridiculous.
Yeah.
So if you want to share some of those rumors, Nick?
They're shutting down. They're getting out of the museum business. It's weird because people contact me because of all the videos that we've done. It's like they think we work there. Mm-hmm. And it was the same thing like when we went to Funspot like the third time because the videos had gotten really popular on YouTube in that like short amount of time that we were going. People thought, oh, like, hey, what do you got in the back? And I was like, games. Like they're looking at me like, oh, come on, take me back there. It's like, I don't work here. He goes, what do you mean you don't work here? Because I live on Long Island. I drive up just like you did. Like that. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. I said, yeah, that's pretty much. So, yeah, I had, I think it was Tim or Tom. One of the other guys' names. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the name because I'm not at the computer. I can't look at everything. There's also another guy on YouTube that said he listened. I think his name was Kevin. I apologize. I'm not going to check my YouTube app while the Skype app is running on my phone. It'll shut down and just give us some headaches, so I'm not going to do it. But yeah, I think it was Tom contacted me and said, "Hey, Nick, do you know why they're not doing a tournament this year?" And I was just like, that's news to me. And I went on there, and if you go to Funspot's website and under events, it has their ASPCA triathlon that Gerard and I participated in is up there, and it says for I erased the damn picture because we're doing the video podcast. It just says, we regret to inform you we're not hosting a classic gaming tournament at this time. I was like, what the hell? So I print screened the photo, and I put it on my Facebook page, and people just started going bonkers. What's going on? What's going down? And then on Twitter, it started going crazy.
And now the original intention of posting it was to let people know ahead of time before they start making plans, because there's people that book flights and hotel rooms.
Yep, we got like Alan Stahl that comes out from friggin' Australia. We got, when they say international, it's not just United States and Canada; it's other countries.
Yep,
that come out.
We weren't. It's funny. Sometimes we like to poke bears, but this one had nothing to do with that. It was just a heads up to everyone. There's no tournament this year.
Yeah.
And then shit just kind of blew up.
So I made a suggestion on my page saying that I wonder if someone else is going to pick up the ball, because we've had other people out there that they want to challenge Funspot as being like a destination to go and play some classic arcade games. So I said, like, my one friend Matt, who's one of the big time players over at Sarah's at Pinball Wizards in Pelham, said, oh, maybe Sarah could do something. And then I put, well, maybe Doc Mack can finally step up, Mr. Largest Arcade in the World. Let's see what the Galloping Ghost can do.
Yeah.
And Doc Mack saw what I wrote, and he said, let me get back to you on that. And not even a week later, he just said, we'll do it the same exact time. I'll get 20 games. We'll get Dave from Arcade to do the scoring, because they already have the scoring set up in there.
Would it be? Is it Arcade?
I don't know. I have to ask him.
How do you spell? He's a big
Aurcade.
He's a big Tron fan. How do you spell Auric?
It's probably like Orc. Yeah, like that. That's how his name is spelt on there.
Okay.
It's probably Arcade.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You have to kind of say it like a pirate almost. Arcade. So, but then John, Black Dog 7, starts going crazy. And it's like, oh, well, like, you made the suggestion, like, when was the last time?
Yeah, we kind of both poked bears. I sent John through our Twitter a message asking, well, when was the last time the Video Game Outsiders had a tournament? Because they every now and then will hold a very small, low-key tournament at Funspot. Last time I went, I think like 6 or 7 people showed up, and it was fun. Played various games, included pinball and stuff on the second floor. The games and the tournaments were all suggestions. It was a lot of fun, so I mentioned that, thinking, what the hell? Because he was talking about it'd be cool to do a meetup somewhere, so I threw that bone, with the intention of it being on a different weekend besides the usual Funspot tournament weekend, because odds are the reason it's canceled has to do with something in that time chunk.
Yeah.
And John gladly took the ball and ran with it, and now he's trying to do a tournament around those dates. He's checking with Gary first. He's not.
Yeah,
just
it sounds like we got
this.
2 tournaments going on at the same time.
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea of trying to do like the challenge of the arcades that they did that one time.
Oh, I think it. I wish Funspot would do that, because the museum has the touchscreen. They have the arcade technology. I would love to be a part of that.
Yeah, because I know they've done that before. I forget the other arcade. I think
Galloping Ghost did it.
It was Galloping Ghost,
Richie Knuckles,
Funspot, Richie Knuckles. I know he did it with Ken House's arcade.
I believe Game Grid took part of it too.
Yeah, Game Grid. That was the other one that they did. They did the triathlon. It was it Richie? I think it was
Richie did one of them. They did it was a head-to-head arcade challenge where basically through I think the arcade technology and internet, whatever, they selected games. People would play. They would form their own team. So it'd be like Team Richie Knuckles or Team Knuckles or whatever, and they try to put up the best scores on those games. And then people in other arcades across the country would do the same.
Yeah, it was
with their own team.
Underground Retrocade.
Yep.
It was Underground Retrocade, Game Grid, and Galloping Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
And since it was like some games that Galloping Ghost didn't have at the time that Adam had and that Underground had, they ended up doing like, you know, certain games were for all three locations. Certain ones were just for the two.
Mm-hmm.
So like Pitfall 2, like they had the best, who could get the best score on Pitfall 2 and stuff like that. You could set something up like that. You could do the double thing, but what we were thinking, like, why it's not happening is just all of the insane construction that they've been doing up there, and they're trying to get ready for the summer season when all the people start coming back, you know?
Yep. When I went to do the interview with Gary, they had a long time ago, we mentioned this, like years and years ago, even talked about in videos. There's, if you're upstairs, there's the museum when you walk in the main entrance. You go to the right and it has the indoor retro mini golf where you can put in a couple quarters to get a ball from like a vending machine and play, and that's where they'd also have the games from the tournament set up there. And there's a little party section in the back. If you go into that room, there's a big long wall where the machines were against, and behind that wall was nothing. There was a hanging ceiling with the bowling alley beneath it. What they did was they took down that wall and expanded that into a section of that area. They have big I-beam posts down in the bowling alley in the center for the support, and that area is all open, and that's going to be where the new indoor mini golf is going.
Yep. And so they took the outdoor, because Gerard and I were talking about it before we started recording, and I think it's a better idea for them because, you know, with the way the weather is, that, you know, you have these places in New Hampshire that, God bless them, how they can get by with only running, you know, 3 to 4 months out of the year.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, they talk about, like, every time the season's over, they bring in their props that they have for the mini golf. Like, you know, there's like a paddle boat with like a working wheel and like a little, like, it looks like a courthouse or something like that.
Yep.
And they completely refurbish them every year. So it just sounded like, you know, they're going to refurbish them once and they're going to bring them inside.
And and I think they're going to combine that with the retro one that's already inside.
Yeah, they ripped that out, and they're going to probably put that in the other area. So they'll have the new course, and then they'll have the classic course.
So I have some pictures from when I was there in October. I can put on the site and send to you, Nick, to put in the video portion on YouTube.
Okay, I'll have it. So, what's the dog's name? I keep forgetting his name.
Waffles. Just a second.
Well, Gerard gets control of his waffles, so I'll start splicing in the photos of the that Gerard took while he was on the little excursion that he did when we were doing the magazine. Hopefully, he is still recording this. Just gotta get the pup under control. Unfortunately for me, I don't have any pets. I'm lonely, so. Yeah, it's just like all the rumors just started just swirling and swirling and swirling. So hopefully this gets down to the nitty gritty and, you know, doesn't, you know, get a lot of people, you know, really excited that they weren't going to do something, or, you know, they were completely going to vanish off the face of the earth. You know, it was just really weird because, as I said, the people come to me like they know what I'm talking about. Like, I'm just a guy that takes videos in the arcade. You know, it's just me. So, you know, I'm going to try to make it out to the... oh, wow. I'll have to splice that in. My friend just got a deal with... he got a Sega Genesis and the 3 Phantasy Star games.
Okay, I'm back.
All right, were you still recording, or was I talking to myself?
No, it was recording.
Okay, cool. No, my friend Brendan just sent me a text on the phone. He got a steal of a deal on Craigslist. He got a Genesis Model 1 with Phantasy Star 2, 3, and 4 for $30.
That is a steal.
like, what the? They're like, how do you find these things? Every time with this kid, he finds the best stuff all over the place. So I was saying to the kids out there that I was going to try to make it to Galloping Ghost this year. Not no disrespect to John and what he wants to try to do, but I've just never been out to Galloping Ghost, and I want to check it out.
Yeah, so we're gonna start a GoFundMe to get Nick to Galloping Ghost.
That sounds so bad.
I'm kidding.
Like all these kids now that are doing that with their videos. They want you to do Patreon, and I was like, I wouldn't be able to do the Patreon because it's just like we can't promise people anything. What can we promise them other than the fact that I might go to one different arcade a year or something like that? So it's basically pay my travel funds.
Now, back to the Funspot thing, just to shoot down some rumors. So there's one rumor that they're closing and removing games. Now, they are going to be removing some games from that, where the area that used to be the tournament area, but that's because almost all those games in that area belong to, I believe it's Randy Lawton.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. Whoop! You just got an alert.
Yes. Piece of crap.
They actually don't belong to Funspot. He was lending them to him, so he's going to be taking them back. They're from his private collection.
Yeah.
So if you're going to Funspot and you're seeing a few less games than usual, they're not selling them. They're not closing up. It's Randy's taking his games back.
Yeah.
They're also, it sounds like in that area that Bob is going to be expanding the party room space.
Mm-hmm.
Because the free party rooms has been a huge success for Funspot. When I was there to do the interview, I could barely get pictures and video of the expanded area because there were like 3 parties going on at one time just in that little upstairs area.
Yeah.
And, it's good for business.
As Triple H says, it's best for business.
What's best for business.
Best for business. I'm not going to be talking about Royal Rumble.
No, so that's...
Hold on, I'm sorry. The guy's name is Ryan Christensen. He listened to the whole thing. Thank you, Ryan. Sorry to cut you off.
So that's what, so those are the things that are going on. So it's possible that the reason there's no tournament, and this is just speculation, is there's probably going to be a lot of construction and building and stuff going on for the new mini golf.
Mm-hmm.
That's my guess.
Yeah. And you said you might end up going there tomorrow, or not tomorrow, like later, probably in the month, since now we're into February now. So.
Yeah, I haven't been out there in a while. When the magazines come after, I'm going to bring one over.
That's one thing that we got to tease the kiddies out there. So, the magazine's out. We got the go-ahead from Tony, the assistant editor of the magazine. Is it assistant editor?
No, he's the head editor.
He's the head editor. I'm sorry.
He's the big cheese.
He's the cheese. He's the gorgonzola. So, basically, I had asked him about, hey, there's the online version of it that you can get on your iPad. And I was saying, hey, can we get some codes to give away to the kids out there? So we gave some codes to John, and he probably already gave them away over on Video Game Outsiders or on Arcade Outsiders, whatever one you prefer to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
And we have some codes to give away. We actually have 2 to give away, right?
I believe so. You're handling the codes, not me.
Yes, I'm handling the codes. So yes, we have 2. The other one we said we were going to give to Gary. Hopefully, if Gary does have an iPad, if he doesn't, then we'll have a third one to give out.
He might not. Yeah, we can do that. We can see. He might be able to. I'll contact him and find out if that would be beneficial. Because I actually went and bought a digital copy of the magazine. And the article came out really nice. The pictures came out really well. And I was impressed with how much from each interview they included.
Exactly, yeah. There was a lot that they have in there.
And they included a lot. And the way they did it is, I thought it was going to be one piece about collectors and arcades.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just going to pick and pull quotes as someone wrote up the article. What they did was, they concentrated on the 5 people, and each section of the article is the straight-up interview with some spots cut out for room in the picture. So you have one that's on like the museum curator. That's Gary's piece. You have one that's the veteran, which I forgot his name. That's one of
It
the
was
ones you
Dave?
did. I
Yeah.
think it was Dave the veteran.
What's funny is Dave was laughing about that. I said, like, I said, they call you the veteran. And he started laughing. He's just like, I haven't been doing it for that long. It's just because I'm older.
Well, it's also his knowledge base
Yeah.
when you listen to him in the interview. And then Johns was like
The King of Kong convert.
yeah. So it was.
Hold on, I'll load it up because I have the iPad right here with me.
Actually, I have it on my. Actually, I have it on
Oh,
my
of course,
phone.
my father's got stuck to it in the closet screwed up, so we're trying to fix it. Oh boy, more fun stuff. So let me see. February 2015, Edge Magazine. Here it is. It's under Infinite Lives, so I'm just going to give you the names of everybody. So John's the King of Kong convert.
Mm-hmm.
We get to... Yeah, John's keeps going. Brendan's the pinball fanatic.
Yep.
Even though he does have arcade games in his collection.
But the main thing he talks about and covers in the interview is pinball.
Yeah. The museum curator. That's for Gary.
Yep.
The Neo Geo specialist for Pedro. And then we go to final one is the veteran collector.
Yep.
This is like veteran. I haven't been doing it for that long. So he just added in. He got rid of his for Dave. He got in a friggin' I'm blanking on the name. Circus Voltaire.
Mm-hmm.
He just got. And I was like, I think he got it for like under $2,000, which is a goddamn steal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, did you have to put a lot of work into it? And he goes, no, it's pretty nice like that. I'm like, holy shit. So he said, like, once the magazine comes in, says, oh, you're invited over, gonna go in the basement. I told him, I said, like, pretty much, like, all of his games in the basement are gonna be a friggin' video on the internet. I'll have to have his own thing of saying, like, Dave's Arcade.
I was gonna say, I love for the Funspot Gary's piece, they included my photo where I climbed on top of some chairs to kind of get like chairs and a tripod to try to get like an aerial top shot, so to get the whole one area of the museum in shot, and it actually worked and came out. There were so many people staring at me. It was so because I don't get to go there that often, so while I'm there, I'm running around with the camera. I took a ton. I'm gonna start putting the pictures now on the Instagram. I took probably over 100 pictures, and it was so hard because there's so many parties going on with kids running around. I'd have to clearly stop and show that I'm only taking pictures of machines.
Yeah.
I'm not a creep there with no kids taking pictures of all the kids.
That's why, like, people said, hey, why don't you go to the Chuck E. Cheese that's in Melville? And I'm like, no. Because I want to be the 30-year-old guy walking around with a camera while there's a 7-year-old's birthday party going on over there. Well, I was like, but they got great games there. I know I'm not going in there unless I'm bringing my niece or nephew to a party.
Exactly. It's
like, did you even think before you typed out that sentence on the computer? So, yeah. This episode comes with construction. So, should we give the kids like a key phrase that they should send to us on any of the? I'm trying to think.
Do we even have to do that? How about the first few people or first two people that I don't know retweet a tweet or something like that?
Well, because there's just so many people out there. We have the Instagram people,
Yep.
we have the Facebook and the Tumblr and all those other guys. So what I'll do is I'll pick somebody at random and just put, Nick, give me a code. That's the key phrase, kids. So if you want a code for the magazine article on your iPad, write, Nick, give me a code, and you can write that on YouTube if you're listening to the YouTube video version of this. Put, Nick, give me a code. If you're on Twitter, put @ArcadeHunters, Nick, give me a code. on Facebook, put Nick Give
Mm-hmm.
Me a Code, or on the website, Nick Give Me a Code. So what we'll do is we'll say, when we put up the everything, Nick Give Me a Code, I'll announce them in the next episode, 32.
Perfect.
So we'll do that.
But I was just gonna say I was very impressed with the article. It came out awesome. It was pretty surreal seeing our names right in the article.
Mm-hmm. The only thing that sucked, it didn't say the Arcade Hunters on it, but what are you gonna do?
No, it said our real names. I mean, I'm fine with that. And the fact that it's Edge magazine, which honestly, Edge is probably the only gaming magazine, non-retro gaming magazine that I'll pick up and look at.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I have a free subscription to GamePro from GameStop. I don't think I've read one article in it.
Oh, that's not GamePro. If you got it from GameStop, that's shit. What the hell's the name of their magazine? Game Informer.
Game Informer. Yep.
Yeah.
Game Informer. I honestly, I don't touch any of the U.S. video game magazines because a lot of it's just not for me. If it's like Video Game Trader, shameless plug, or
Ding ding.
or one of the smaller retro zines or collectors magazines, those I'll pick up and look at. But that's about it.
It just sucks since we lost our borders out here in Sable. I haven't had a place to go to buy any of those magazines because you gotta thank God they let you skim through the magazine because when you're paying the import price, it's like $15, almost $20 for certain magazines.
Yeah,
I remember when my friend Ray showed me they had the backbound collection of all the old retro gamer magazines.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted like $250 for that. And my friend's like, "Did you see this $250 magazine in here?" And it was just like, "No." It's like, it's a game magazine. I said, "Oh, Retro Gamer." And he looked at me like, "You know it?" And I said, "Yeah, I get it once in a while."
I do the digital subscription.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's $40 for a year.
Yeah.
But
it's better because it's as Wada would say, it's directly to you.
But yeah, it's crazy because John was talking about it on Arcade Outsiders. I think it was a couple weeks ago about how last week, how he's included in this magazine in an article and talking about how Edge is it's a legit magazine. It's a really it's a well written magazine. He said it's like,
and they had us do it.
Yeah, I think we did a pretty good job.
Just patting myself on the back.
Now to switch gears, I don't know if you noticed this, Nick. There's a place in New York we have to go to.
Nanuet Arcade?
Yep, Nanuet Arcade.
It's about an hour and a half away.
Yep, it's not far at all. It's funny. I saw a retweet of them on Twitter. I saw it said Nanuet, and the first thing that crossed my mind is, no, that can't be Nanuet, New York. So I went to the website. I was like, son of a bitch, just right outside Yonkers. I should drive right by that area. Of course, a Japanese arcade opens now there.
Exactly. They do have pins and stuff like that in there. I was gonna suggest it to the guys from the arcade club if they wanted to hit up there one day, because my friend was saying we got to do some more field trips. It's fun when we do the arcade club. It's basically us hanging out at the office, and we'll play some games once in a while that are in there. But it's fun to go out and check out places like we were talking about. Maybe just going over to the Dave and Buster's in Islandia to see the converted Galexian 3 to and get dinner out there.
So was it Air Raid?
Yeah, Air Raid Motion Theater or multiplayer theater.
Mm-hmm.
It's so bad that people get up and walk right out.
It's so boring.
Oh my god. Because we were talking about that. Like, the board set's still got to be in there because they have those big boxes that are on the bottom. And it's like, I don't know if they got rid of them or not. It's just so weird. How the hell did they come up with that idea to convert that game? Did they just have 6 or 7 of them? And okay, the laser discs are shot and the projectors are broken, but we need to put these around to different arcades that we have.
What happened is that I wouldn't be surprised, and you probably already noticed that game. I wouldn't be surprised that game was programmed just for Dave and Buster's.
Yeah.
I have a feeling they were able to get those units for next to nothing. And
Yeah, it was
just
probably like the Namco arcades probably closed down,
mm-hmm,
and like the Borg, they probably just absorbed it all, and they had all these big units, and they're like, what can we do with these? So like, okay, we'll move them around.
mm-hmm.
Because they used to have the shooting gallery area, and they got rid of the shooting gallery, and that's what they put in its place. And you sit there and you play it, and you're just like, man, if this was friggin' Galexian,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's outdated now, but just for like a classic standpoint of that, you're in and out in 5 minutes.
And it was still
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
The new thing's just not fun. It's boring.
You can't even tell when you're getting hit. It's
Mm-hmm.
so stupid. I'm gonna end up taking another video whenever I go back there. But for the guys up in Nanuet, probably be coming out to you guys soon.
Yeah, just to give everyone, all the listeners out there, so it's Nanuet, New York. It's not too far outside of New York City. They are advertising they just got in 2 upgrades. One's an upgrade for Beatmania 2DX22.
Mm-hmm.
Pendual, I'm probably butchering that.
Yeah,
And
they've
then,
gotten all the weird names on the Beatmania series.
yeah, and they also have Poppin' Music 21 Sunny Park,
Very nice.
which that I'm really excited
Oh
to.
wow, my father found more of the press start shirts. I didn't know I had any more of them.
Which
Well, then I can give them away to everybody else now.
I'd love to go there to play that. And also, they have a post New Year, New Games, and they have Ikaruga listed. Now, if
And
that,
some pins.
yeah, and Avatar for pinball and Ghosts and Goblins. But I want
Ugh,
if
Avatar pinball.
yeah, I want to go there just to play Ikaruga and Poppin' Music.
Yeah.
Those two, I'm sold.
I don't know what's that. The thing that pisses me off with all the Bimani games are like you can't tell what the hell the song list is gonna be. And like you get there and like, what are all these new songs? Where are my old stuff?
And then for the icing on the cake, how many arcades advertise a selection of beat 'em up games anymore?
Yeah, exactly.
They have Aliens vs. Predator, Crime Fighters, Die Hard, Dynamite Cop, Moonwalker, Narc, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Simpsons. And then for pinball, one of the games I really want to play is Hook.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a Hook.
It's another one ramp game.
No, I know.
They had to take that out of a tournament because they just found out you just keep hitting the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And you keep getting the cock-a-doodle-doo, and like we could not have that in the tournament. They said it just got way too annoying.
They also have Lethal Weapon 3 for pinball, and then for racing games, they have Initial D Arcade Stage 7, AA X or Cross, AA Cross.
Yeah, the X is always cross for Japanese for some reason.
Mario Kart Arcade GP2.
Yes. Yeah. I like it that you can play as Don and Katsu from Taika no Tatsujin, the little drums.
Yep.
He got the happy little drum, and he gets like he's still super happy, and he throws a friggin' turtle shell and hits you in the butt.
So they have I'd say, a plethora of great games. They also have more rhythm games such as DDR Supernova, DJ Max Technica 3, and the Groove 2, Re-Rave Plus.
And you've got to have those all networked.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best part about all those new games is that they are using networks, and most of the arcades that know when they get it, like, yeah, we have to have these on the network, because I think it's one thing that Adam was showing with the DJ Max, that they also, not only are they networked to compare scores and stuff, but they get DLC.
Mm-hmm.
They've been adding in new songs into the game. He was advertising on his on the Facebook page for the Game Grid. It's like, hey, come on down. We got 5 new songs that have just been unlocked in the game.
Awesome.
So they know whenever they get new songs and stuff like that. But I heard there's like another arcade that's getting like the Hatsune Miku. I fucked up. Miku arcade game. The
Really?
the Sega Music Rhythm game that they had on. I got it on PlayStation 3. They were doing a sale. They're doing it's like $40 because it's a digital only game, but they had it on sale. It was like 10 or $12. I went, okay, it's a music game. Why not? I like music games. It's just that the voice that they use, because it's the computer program with the singing. So it's like, oh, it's like, what the hell is that? It takes you a while before you can get used to it. And when they make it speak in English, it sounds really weird. It's, what the hell is that thing saying? But did you watch the Royal Rumble? We'll just say it really quick.
Yes, I did. Honestly,
Spectacular.
well, the three-way match was awesome.
Oh yeah, of course.
The Rumble, honestly, I wasn't that bad, and I'm not. I personally, I don't think Daniel Bryan is ready, especially after.
Are you talking about Roman Reigns and not Daniel Bryan?
Well, no. Let me finish. I don't think Daniel Bryan is ready and completely healed and up to snuff. I think they're taking it easy with him. And for Roman Reigns, I am not a fan of him. I did not want him to win. I did find it funny how it wasn't too long ago when people were cheering for him, and especially.
Well, they were only cheering for him because it wasn't Batista. That was why they were cheering.
Oh no! I'm not talking about the Rumble. I'm talking pre-Rumble, like when he returned from the hernia operation.
Yeah.
Like when they were showing the video segments of him in the hospital when he was addressing the crowd was going nuts for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden to have that sharp turn.
Yeah.
Personally, I really think it should have been Dolph Ziggler. He was the one I was rooting for to win.
Yeah.
I think he's earned it. I think he deserves it. I would have loved to have seen Rusev toss Roman Reigns out of the ring when he snuck back in. I thought that was going to happen. I thought that would have been... It would have pissed off the crowd, but would have created such
it would have made the crowd happy.
Or happy. It would have been awesome to have such a villain. And imagine him... that should have been who won. And then last, I would have liked to have... I mean, honestly, first I would love to have seen Goldust.
Yes.
Of course. I know it's not going to happen. That's a dream. But besides that, I would love to have seen them, even Bray Wyatt, survive and have him take that character and actually turn the stories into something. Because he's a talented wrestler. He's talented at delivering the lines and everything. But the stuff they're giving him is just crap.
It doesn't make any sense. It's like when the Ultimate Warrior would cut a promo. Like, what the hell did he just say?
But at least with the Ultimate Warrior, it didn't make sense because the guy was an animal.
Yeah.
This doesn't make sense because I think the writers don't know what they want to do. They're trying to make him to be like a eater of worlds and
cult leader.
Yeah, and it hasn't. And each person he's gone against, it hasn't materialized into anything. I mean, they should have him coming in all dark, taking over people, have more people on his side, have it show his cult growing, and actually show some intent, like get good writers to write that in.
Yeah.
And if he won the Rumble, that would have given the chance to do that, but it's clearly they don't have plans for that. They're probably just going to have him duke it out with Dean Ambrose a little bit and move on to the next.
My whole thing, it was, a lot of people were just going, you just didn't like it because your favorite wrestler didn't win. I was just like, no, the whole thing was they made the final four, excluding Rusev when they threw him out. It was like the big surprise that they popped back in, was they had Kane and Big Show. And everybody in that audience, you're doing it in fucking Philadelphia, the biggest smarky wrestling town of them all. Smart marks, as we call them. The people that read the internet dirt sheets, that know all the terms and stuff like that. You had to try to get over in Philly. Worst place to do it.
Yeah.
Was everybody in that audience knew there's not a snowball's chance in hell that they're going to have Kane or Big Show headline WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, as soon as they just unceremoniously dumped Dean Ambrose and they dumped Dolph Ziggler out of the ring like a sack of potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
It was over, and that's when they just started. I mean, it wasn't like last year's Rumble where they only booed after the number 30 wasn't Daniel Bryan. They knew that he wasn't going to be in.
Mm-hmm.
Only after that. But it was half of the thing. And they should have known. They should have either had him come in later or not have had him in there at all. because it would have. I mean, they had to use the Rock as like a human shield to block the booze. And the whole thing is they did it in Philly, and they know that the hardest wrestling towns, for me, the top 3 hardest wrestling towns is Philadelphia, Chicago, and New York, because they're like the really tough fans that I know of. And, there's got to be a lot of other things, but like if they were like in North Carolina or somewhere in like Kansas City, then maybe they would have went all crazy for Roman winning it. But like they were not having that in Philadelphia, man. I was just like, the rest of the undercard was just, oh my god, it was just terrible. Yeah. I was just like, you got the 2 best Divas wrestlers, and they're just screaming at each other and not in the ring doing anything. And it's like, come on, Paige and Natty have to get more. It's like, hopefully Paige will win the belt back, and then they can have Paige and Natty fight each other, so it can actually be something good. I just don't like the Bella Twins. They have gotten better as I've been watching it, but they're nowhere near where Ric Flair's daughter is, and Natty and Paige. Those 3 are still like, they run circles around them. But another fat kid telling you what he thinks about athletes. It's kind of like when you listen to like the football report. Oh, you guys suck. It was like, hey, yeah, you had that one big knee injury in junior high school ball, and you don't play anymore. So you got to put down $1 million paid athletes that are out there busting their ass and their skulls. So, yeah, we had a good day at NAVA. We went to the NAVA meetup yesterday over in New Jersey, over at the Digital Press in Clifton, New Jersey, one of the best video game places on the East Coast. Holy shit. Great stuff.
By any chance, does he have any more new arcade games?
He's got a Donkey Kong 1, Donkey Kong 3. He still has the 2-slot Neo Geo with the multi-cart. He's got the MAME unit and the Nintendo Play Choice. He got rid of the DJ Max Technica.
Oh, I didn't even know he had a DJ Max.
Yeah, he had a DJ Max for a few months.
I haven't been there in probably 6 years.
I know. Since the infamous James Rolfe video.
Yep.
God, that was bad. Oh my, he's checking out his junk. I was just like, yeah, I love to look at a married man's unit. Oh my God, him and his best friend. I'm just checking them all out. But yeah, he had the museum. I'll splice the photo in of the museum that like how he has it in the back with all the different games. He had every one of the Coleco arcades in the box, and he had all of the Game & Watches, and he had like the big like the Panorama ones, like the Donkey Kong Jr. He had them in the box.
Did he have like the ice hockey one?
Yes, the 2-player ones.
Yep, it has like the 2 little controllers.
Donkey Kong's hockey and Donkey Kong's I don't think it's basketball or baseball, but he had oh my God, you just look in there, just so much stuff. And like he was seeing, like I brought my Star Fox Super Weekend, and he goes, I have one. He goes, but do you have a jacket? And I said, supposedly our friend Craig has 2 jackets. And I told him, I said, come on, man, you got over $1,000 worth of jackets that probably won't ever fit you, since they're made for children. But I was like, come on, like I told him, I said, if you want to make some big money, I said, he has the cartridge too. We both got the cartridge. So I said, you can put that together. And he said, I think he has a pin for it. I said, I don't think I've ever seen someone put all 3 up together. And I was saying that to Joe. I was like, he's got something there. If he put up all 3 of them together, I said that would be insane. Like that said, they would be bidding around the clock.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
So I was bad. I was trying to hold back. When we were recording before, I was playing Street Fighter 02 on the Saturn. I
got a little bit of that in the beginning. That's going in there.
The guy said, what do you got? I said, how much? He goes, $10. I went, oh, okay. It's just as long as it doesn't need the RAM expander cart, then I'm going to be screwed. I got Contra 3, The Alien Wars, finally. I also got the real deal, the real Megillah. I got my TEPCO Super Bowl, finally. The one football game that matters for me. That and Blitz. So the 2 football games I own, finally. I got Willow on the NES for $5. But
I was just gonna say it's not a bad game.
Decap Attack I got. We went to the other play. There's one play and trade that's in Nassau County. The guys are really nice and they have a good selection. We got so excited. We get in there and they had in a makeshift box Super 3D's Noah's Ark, or Noah's Ark 3D, and it said price tag on it, $50. I'm like, huh? I was like, no, that game's like over $100. There's no way that can be $50. So we go up to the kid and say, hey, can you open the display case? We want to see Noah's Ark. So he goes, okay. And he takes it out. He goes, you want to see the cartridge? And goes, oh, yeah, I want to see what it looks like. It's a fucking reproduction. And we just looked at it. Both of us went, it was Brendan and I go, whoa, that's not real. Like that. And the kid looked at us, goes, what are you talking about? Because the kid was younger and he's just like, this is a reproduction. He goes, what do you mean? This is a real Nintendo cartridge. I said, yeah, that's the problem. I said this was the only unlicensed game on the system. It used the thing like a Game Genie. You had to put a cartridge on the top of it.
Yeah, for it to work.
So you're selling bootleg merchandise like that. I just looked at. He goes, oh, I'm gonna have to talk to my manager, because there was a kid that walked in before and says, hey, do you guys do console mods? And the guy's like, no, we can't do that. I was like, you'll get you won't be able to sell Nintendo products anymore ever again if they started doing that. But I'm looking at this one guy's box and I was just like, whoa. I was like, that looks pristine. And he had a $50 price tag on it. And I was just like, I need to have this because of my house fire in 99. I lost it. River City Ransom. I got complete box, manual. The cart's nice and squeaky clean, $50.
Awesome.
I was like, oh, thank God I got it back again, man. And I made sure I put that on Instagram, #barf. And then for Temco Super Bowl, I put #Bo Knows. So I even said, how much for Bo Jackson, the video game? He goes, that's not Bo Jackson. He goes, oh. He goes, $7. I'm like, okay, here you go.
I, this week, picked up a new book that I feel I should plug because it's really good. It's The Unofficial Guide to Konami Shooters.
Oh, yeah, the guys from Hardcore Gaming.
Yep, Hardcore. I'm going to butcher his name. Kurt. I got that part, but his last name, I think, Kalata, I believe Kurt Kalata.
Kurt Kalata. Well, or we'll call him Kulata.
So it's Hardcore Gaming 1-1 presents The Unofficial Guide to Konami Shooters, and it is the ideal book for me because they have it in order by game and when it released. So it starts off with the Gradius games, and each game.
Do they make sure they say how you're really supposed to pronounce it? I'm pretty sure it's Gradius.
Yeah,
We always said Gradius, but then we're like, it's Gradius.
Yep.
Like, damn it, I've been saying it wrong for all these years.
Yep, he does that in the book. But what's cool with his writing is each game gets 1 to 2 pages, and he's able to, in that 1 to 2 pages, describe how the game plays, describe the different ports and versions, and compare them, which one's better, which one's worse, and also give his own 2 cents on the games, and also any like little tidbit facts. It's a fast read, but full of information that it reads smoothly. It's not like reading a dense like periodical, nor is it like reading like some of our game reviews we did for Video Game Trader tended to be a little long-winded. Yeah, especially mine. It's not like that.
I was just like, I have to fill this up. I was like, I feel like if I don't go on too long, I'm not going to be able to fill up. But most of the games I did were, really easy, like, shooters and stuff like that. Like, how much do you have to explain about it? You explain the mechanic that it has.
Yep. But he does a great job, and he does a great job with it. It's definitely worth picking up. You can get a hard copy for a little under $15 right now on Amazon, or you can get the Kindle version for I think it's like $6.
Mm-hmm.
I went with the Kindle version.
Very nice.
It's got pictures of the different. Usually on the last page, if there's ports, it'll say which systems it's been ported to. It'll have comparison pictures of the arcade and the different home ports.
Very nice.
Then he gives us 2 cents on in reviews and stuff. It covers all the all the Konami shooters, including some of the spin-off games like the Twin Bee RPG and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I've been reading that and loving it. I've been playing my Parodius game a little more since reading it.
Mm.
And actually,
take the photo of that with the Kindle on with the on a Konami Wendy playing Konami Shooter.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. You got the trifecta.
Yep, and it actually, I completely forgot about Nemesis for Game Boy.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
I got mine.
Yeah, I just ordered it for I think it was like $7 off eBay.
There you go.
I was like, holy shit, I forgot about that. And then I'm gonna track down Nemesis 2.
Love the music in that game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he probably mentions it how insanely hard it is to find the U.S. version of Gradius, the arcade game. Like I think Nintendo did the U.S. version of Gradius, like how they did R-Type for Irem. And I just heard like trying to find like a version of that. Even the board is like you're talking triple digits for that game. So I don't think I've seen I don't know if they made it dedicated or it was made for like a play choice.
I think
thing, like the board.
I think there was a dedicated. Another thing he goes into, he talks about the 2 spin-off Gradius games for the MSX.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because I have a MSX collection disc for the Saturn that I was about to put up on eBay to sell because I only tried a couple games on it and didn't hold my interest. But after reading the article and seeing that there's a whole bunch of these games on there that I just, because it's all in Japanese, I never stumbled on them. I'm like, you know what? I'm pulling that game out of the selling lineup and putting it back into my collection.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think it's not Gradius 2. I think it's called, it's Gradius something on the MSX. I think it's Gradius. No, I think it's Gradius 2 with the number 2, not with the numeral 2.
Mm-hmm.
Or Nemesis. It's something like that, and that's an MSX. It's a sequel, but it's only on the MSX, not in the arcade. And then there's a sequel to that. It's a pretty convoluted game history, and
there's one that I want to look up. There's the Twin Bee platformer that's on the Super Famicom.
Yep, he talks about that too, and
I played it years and years ago on ROM. I was just like, oh, Twin Bee, and I put it on. I was like, whoa, it's a platformer. It's not a shooter. Yeah, I was playing through it. I was like, this is cute. This is fun.
And he says that it's a fun platformer. It uses maps and stuff kind of similar to Super Mario World at the time.
Yeah.
It's not overly difficult, but if you like the Twin Bee universe, it's well worth looking into.
Does he go into the Twin Bee cartoon?
Yep.
You got the you got the 2 things from. Where did we get those from? Is that Otakon?
No, the Book Off, Japanese bookstore in the city.
Went there. They had the 2
VHS tapes. Those were originally radio dramas, I think they call them. They're originally on CDs in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's funny, he talks about them, and then I think there's only like 6 or 7 episodes, and he mentions how they were released on VHS, and I think he said 2000, 1999 or something like that. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, I got those.
Because there's a weird one where there's a
the growing ray.
There's a beauty contest, and there's a guy with a shrink ray, and he hits the reverse button, he turns all the girls giant, and they start grabbing stuff and smashing everything, and every time one of the girls grows, she goes out of her bikini, and they show the judges, and all the judges are other Konami characters.
Yep.
They have Dracula, and who the other judges are, I haven't seen it
in a long time, but
I just saw that one clip online. I was just like, holy shit, look at all the Konami characters in this. This is funny as hell. It's only really hardcore Konami fans would get that, in America. I guess it's different in Japan. Oh, there's one guy from that game. It's kind of like their other game, YY World.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Joe had a copy of that for $20, and I was just like, I just don't have a way to play it. I don't want to get a Retron 5 yet until the price goes down,
Mm-hmm.
or until they come out with the Retron 6 where they fix the junk that's wrong with it. But that was that looks like a lot of fun, that game, YY World.
Yeah.
Where it's like the collection of all the different, freaking Mikey from the Goonies is in it. Obviously, they didn't get Sean Astin's permission, but said, the little character.
The caricature.
Yep. It's like a character. You should give that to him and sign it. Like, I'm not in this. Like, yeah, you are. You're right there. I was like, that doesn't even look a damn thing like me.
I don't have bright red hair and blue.
I didn't wear blue overalls and bright red shoes and jump kick rats and blow holes in walls and shoot a slingshot.
Another thing I did, which was I'm kind of regretting, but I didn't pay a lot for it. I picked up Automadeus Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I got it off Amazon for $6.
You fuck! I paid full price for that piece of crap.
I was gonna say I feel ripped off at $6.
Oh God! It's like one of the guys that I'm friends with online, who's through NeoGeo.com. He's not on there anymore because they pretty much ran him off. But he had his one friend talk about, like, this guy's like a huge Automadeus fanboy, to the fact that he owns like all the different versions from the Japan, including the joystick that has the touch screen on it for the bomb. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And like, he's talking about, like, yeah, I have the whole bedroom set because the I forget, it came with like the sheets in the Japanese version, and the American version came with the pillowcase.
Yep.
So he says, like, I have the whole bedroom set. I was just like, okay.
Why?
It's his waifu, I guess.
Yeah, but
I just thought, okay, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. They're trying to bring back the series. It's got the Moe girls. I don't care.
On paper, it should work.
Yeah.
On paper.
I'm thinking, okay, this is gonna have the humor that Parodius had. It's obviously, it's got the girls in it too, to attract the anime fans and stuff like that. I'll check it out, and I'm trying to play it, and I was like, I cannot get into this at all. I unlock all the characters, and I'm like, I can't get into this. I can't play this.
The controls are so floaty.
Mm-hmm.
The enemies and bosses are so bland, and it's so hard to tell what the hell your hitbox is to get through some of the bullets. The basic weapon is junk. You almost always have to do a laser because there's nothing powerful.
Yeah.
It's just, the whole game's just a bland mess. Now, and the crazy part is, supposedly the Automadeus, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, Excellent, that's the sequel.
Automadeus, I think.
Automadeus Excellence is the sequel, console-only sequel. Automadeus G, or Gorgeous, was the arcade port. And from what I've read, it sounds like Excellent is an improvement over the previous one. That was my reaction. So I'm playing like, this is awful. And I look and I'm like, oh, okay, this isn't based on the arcade. I'm looking at the G, which is based off the arcade. I'm like, okay, maybe they just screwed up the console. And I'm thinking, maybe you need to get G, the one that's the port of the actual arcade game, the one that has all the penguins in the background and stuff like that, Pentaro and stuff like that. And it turns out, no, it's not. It's not much better.
Ugh. I was like, how do you screw up after Parodius? So, like, I remember playing that at Icon on Long Island, and we were just having a ball with that. I mean, even people that didn't know what the game was, they just thought it was funny because, hey, I'm playing as Mike the Neutered Pig.
Yep.
Because, like, when you fly him a certain way, you can see the X on his balls.
Yep, Mike the Angel Pig.
Yep.
He
play as a stick figure on a paper airplane and stuff like that.
And you have the girl riding the missile, the bunny girl.
Yep.
Haiku, I think the name is.
Yep.
And you have, of course, Twinbee. Yeah, I know, and there's
how do you screw this up? It's so bad. That's why they had Treasure do Gradius 5. That's the reason. I mean, they had to make sure it's a treasure of nonstop shooting action.
Well, that's the thing, because from what I've read in the book, Gradius 3 and 4 were not well received by any means. People thought they were just a rehash of the same old thing and too difficult. I heard Gradius Gaiden is considered one of the best ones. I believe that's a console only. I think that's PlayStation 1 that came out on. And Gradius 5 is up there. The only gripes that some people have with Gradius 5 is it doesn't have the usual kind of Gradius format. Like the stages and the levels are very different from any other Gradius game. But they love the wormhole and traveling back in time and stuff like that aspect.
Yeah, and I like the extra using the C stick to control the lasers and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
swing them around.
Yep, and that too. They said that was ingenious. Yeah, I love Gradius 5.
I just don't. And the one thing I don't like is how many times you play the game. You can't skip the cutscenes. It's always, I guess I have no choice. And like that's every player that plays this game more than once is like, you have to come back with me. I guess I have no choice.
It sounds like with the arcade ones, Gradius 2 is the pinnacle of the high point for the series. From what I've read.
I don't think we ever got to play that. It's just so hard to find. I don't even know if it had like an American thing, because which we played. What's the one that Andy had?
I believe that was Gradius 3.
Yeah.
Which is one of the hardest ones.
Yeah, the one with the that's the one they use in Beatmania 2DX and in Burning Heat. It's called the one where we have the fire and the dragons are coming out of the stars and stuff like that. You fly too close. It's like people get on there and they play it. You don't see past the third stage unless you start like really credit feeding that thing.
Which is funny, honestly. Like I'm gonna butcher the name. I have Gojuku Parodius.
Yes. And
that once you get to the third stage, it's almost impossible. There's just so much going on. It's a stage where in the Gradius series they have the stages where you have to shoot through the vines and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it's a cake stage, so it's a giant cake, so you have to shoot through the cake, and there's bombs and fruit hidden, and the fruit don't always blow up, so they'll drop on you. Then there's moles going up and down, left and right, and things blowing up. It's just chaos.
Yeah.
But then you get to the boss, and the boss is easy.
Like the one thing I wish I could understand Japanese when we were playing Chatting Parodius that one time. It's like the characters just keep talking at you, and you shoot them in the butt, and they start yelling at each other. It's like, this got to be really friggin' funny when you understand the language. So how are we on time there, Gerard?
We hit the mark, and we covered.
Yeah, I feel like I'm rambling on a bit, but
no, we hit the mark. I think we're at a cool, smooth stopping point. We covered news. We covered some news. So the Funspot tournament is not happening. It's not closing up. Hopefully Gary will say why, but if I had to guess, it's probably related to construction with the new mini golf, and they're redoing that one floor area.
Get him on the video saying it just to shut people up. You know, I would ask him politely, hey,
if I see him, yeah, I'll see if he wouldn't mind doing that.
Like, we're not closing. Just explain to everybody what's going on. We're opening this. This is going to happen. We couldn't do it because of this, this, and this. And then see what John's doing.
The other thing, it also sounds like it wasn't Gary's decision.
Yeah, exactly.
It did not come from Gary. It sounds like it did not come from Gary or anyone else at ACAM. It came from Bob, the boss man.
Yep.
From Bob Lawton. So it has to do with construction or building or something.
The big boss man.
Yeah.
God rest his soul. He's up in heaven smiling down at us. God, that was bad. Going back into wrestling, before watched the regular Rumble, I was going through and was watching a bunch of the old ones. And I put on the 2000 one, the one that I was at Madison Square Garden. 3 in a row. It was the Big Boss Man, and then Test, and then the British Bulldog. I'm like, oh my God, that is so freaky. It's just like each one of them has passed away. I was like, oh God. So, folks, once again, we want to thank you very much for listening to us ramble on the Arcade Hunters podcast. You can find us at thearcadehunters.com. Drop us a note. Let us know what you think. And as always, we're on all of your favorite social media sites. We're on the Tumblr. We're on the Twitter, Instagram, and the Facebook. Look up Arcade Hunters. You'll find us. Thanks for listening. If you're listening to us over on iTunes, please give us a rating and give us a review. It'll help people find the podcast easier.
Mm-hmm.
And before we go, hey Gerard, tell the kids what's coming up on the YouTube channel soon.
We're going to be having a month of Neo Geo videos. At the last Funspot tournament, it's weird. I brought my big CRT TV, my consoleized MVS, and Nick brought a bunch of MVS games. So we picked, I think it's 4 games, and we did, it's kind of like a Let's Play review, but more review. Not just, oh, we're sitting down playing. It's basically a 2-person review. We recorded footage of the game and audio of us with our comments and talking about the game and what we liked and all that stuff. So there's all 4 will be popping up. The first one is going to be the AES version, which is the home version of Twinkle Star Sprites.
Yep.
In US. And then going to jump into the Japanese version. Then we also have a couple other very popular games.
Yep, so a bunch of really cool stuff. It's finally great to see him coming out there, and that'll give me more time to do some of my stuff. So.
Yep.
So folks. Yeah.
I was just going to say, so the Twinkle Star Sprites AES review will be up this week.
Very nice. So, folks, thanks again for listening to us, and we'll see you again next time here on the Arcade Hunters podcast. Take care.
Thanks for listening.